Hello ladies! As you might know already, I am attempting to create some documentary style videos, where I explain what is attractive in a woman. This should technically cover every aspect of her personality, and as we know, we should absolutely focus on the whole person instead of only focusing on lust. As it turns out, I have some experience studying anatomy and physiology, and I would quite like to make some explanations of human anatomy anyways. It should be obvious that I have a naturalized understanding of human anatomy, and that I am drawing on these experiences to make quality anatomical explanations. Perhaps I will make some commentaries about the physical attributes of women's bodies, and I hope that we can just keep an open mind and see how things turn out. As we know, physical beauty comes in many forms, and in fact, many people have mistaken notions of what beauty is. For example, a beautiful woman should be a woman who is also healthy. So, we should avoid making any claim of beauty that contradicts the consensus when it comes to what makes a person healthy. There are many things that a bachelor might say about a bachelorette that are their personal opinions. It is not my intention of delivering ignorant and insensitive communications, so instead, we may attempt to appraise a person's beauty from the perspective of multiple medical disciplines, and then add in what my own preferences might be. For example, if a person is overweight, then this might negatively affect their beauty, except that being overweight is also a matter of medical fact, and we could consult with a physician to explain what this woman's bariatric condition was like. On the other end of the spectrum, if a woman was extremely skinny or petite, we might be able to infer how this could positively affect her beauty or attractiveness. Except we might also consult with a physician, and we might discover that she had an eating disorder. And it could be noted that women with bare ribs and fragile bodies are not the most attractive people either. While appraising a woman's beauty, we might also look lower on her body to examine the structure of her pelvis and her hips. We might be interested in what her legs and her thighs looked like too. Conventionally speaking, the best woman to marry might be a woman who was in great obstetric condition, because we would be appraising how well she would be able to carry her pregnancy, if that was what you were interested in. As I have said previously, I am explicitly not trying to have children, so in theory I should not be interested in obstetrics. Perhaps I might be able to explain these mechanisms for the sake of creating better material, but I would absolutely assert that I did not explain what the obstetric qualities of a woman's body were because I was interested in having children. In order to avoid any sort of confusion, it is more than fair for me to adamantly assert that I am not interested in having any children in the foreseeable future. Next, we have some of her anatomical features that could be eroticized. We will discuss some of her features, such as her breasts and her genital region. These attributes are the most exciting features of a woman's body. I would absolutely have things to say about breasts and female genitals. Some interesting facts about female anatomy that I have learned is that the pectoral region on the human body is a 5-sided polygon, topologically speaking. Another interesting detail about a woman's pubic region is that we could focus on something that is commonly referred to as her thigh gap. What I learned about this region, anatomically speaking, is that there is a feature of a woman's pubic region called the gusset. The gusset is shaped like a saddle, and it goes around the underside of her hip assembly. The concept of the gusset was inspired by the practices of tailors and clothing makers, who frequently sew additional units of cloth onto the armpits of clothing, in order to make up for the curvature of the fabric. This practice achieves a tapering effect. They also use this technique when sewing the groin area onto some pants, which is why I frequently refer to a woman's thigh gap as a gusset in my own anatomical studies. Some ideas for future discussion topics may include taking reference images and then illustrating the shape of a woman's pectoral muscles, and also illustrating the width of the woman's thigh gap, in order to demonstrate some of the more subtle details of a woman's body from an anatomical perspective. Please consider going on dates with the man in the photograph.